Hello, this is a very important message that I'd like to bring to you on behalf of everyone here at Operation Stephen, especially brothers Greg and Ray, who wanted to be with me in this recording but couldn't make it for some logistical reasons. This message is about our very dear sister and a very dear friend, Hatun Tash, an internationally renowned Christian speaker from Speaker's Corner. Of course, her home turf has been Speaker's Corner now for about a decade, and she has been involved in Islamic polemics. She is world renowned. She has trained many people in various Christian training programs in relation to how to reach out to Muslims across the globe. She has traveled wide. And of course, her chosen field of expertise is Islamic polemics, which is not an easy area to navigate around. She has also been on national and international news. Among various other things, one of the important things about her is that she has been at the forefront in defending freedom of speech. In other words, she has been a bastion of freedom of speech from her home turf, Speaker's Corner. Her field of expertise is not an easy area to grapple with, Islam. For those who have been watching news and following various other developments, you would be aware that dealing with issues in relation to Islam isn't easy. But that's exactly where Hatun was operating in. She has shaken the fundamental assumptions involved in this particular religion. People either liked her or hated her. That's the level to which she brought issues to the forefront, issues in relation to Islam. For instance, whereas for centuries Muslims would have liked to think that there has been only one Quran perfectly preserved, she showed up at Speaker's Corner in her own style with at least 30 different Qurans and demonstrated, showcased to people, live audience, how there are multiple different Qurans, which of course has shaken the beliefs of various Muslims across the world. She has interacted with imams, brought them to the Lord Jesus Christ, and so on. So this is how she operates. She also worked with Tommy Robinson in relation to bringing specific issues related to the grooming gangs in operation in the UK. And finally, and most importantly, she goes on to show how someone could go through severe persecution as she takes upon her some simple cartoons of a fellow human being. The level of threat that Hatun has faced in her last 10 years, especially in the last 5 years, is phenomenal. She has received death threats, multiple. Bombs have been sent to where she has been living. Masked men have followed her into restaurants, very actively threatening her with violence. There are at least 2 known attempts on her life. One where she was knifed at Speaker's Corner in broad daylight when there were a number of people who were already there. Knifed, but through God's grace, she is still alive. It was an attempted murder. In another instance, it was a planned murder which was foiled by counter-terrorism police when a man wanted to bring a gun to Speaker's Corner to gun her down along with various other people at Speaker's Corner. Such is the level of threat that she goes through, that she has gone through already. The ones who one would hope would give her solace and a safe place to operate in, namely the police, themselves have persecuted her. She was treated as the perpetrator of violence in situations where she herself was the victim. And in some situations, even the court pitched in and the police had to pay her a hefty amount of money to compensate for the fact that they treated a victim in the way they treated her. She was arrested when she was supposed to have been protected. Her places of residence have been invaded by the police, and landlords have been spoken to in order to evict her, eventually leading her to be sort of without a home. That gives you an idea of the level of persecution that she has gone through in the last 5 years. For what? For simply trying to bring to the surface some very important truth statements in relation to a religion, all the while showing very actively her love for people who follow those religions. Now we have come to an increased level of the persecution that she has faced, an escalation in persecution. In the last month or so, people who have been closely in contact with her, almost on a daily basis, haven't been able to reach her. This is a cause of concern for all those who know her personally. To say that we are distressed is an understatement. And I'm sure many of you, like us, for many of you, your hearts would be burning at the moment. Whether you are a sincere police official, a journalist, a politician, a Christian leader of some sort, a free speech advocate, or simply someone who cares about our Christ-inspired freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and various other values that we have in our nation. If your hearts are burning like ours, you could be involved in relation to Hatun. You could be involved in a few different ways. To find what you could exactly do, please check out the details that are going to show up in your screen in just a moment. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully together we can make a change for our nation through God's grace. Thank you.